my name is Mary, and thanks for coming by my channel, and let's get to this makeup tutorial. I've already prepped my face, and I'm starting with the Stilla Smudge Stick in Vivid Smoky Quartz. It applies kind of creamy on the lid, so when I use my smudge brush, I can blend it out easily, and I usually blend it upwards. I usually like to round out the inner corners of my eyes. I find that it changes my eye shape just slightly so that it becomes a little bit more rounder on the inner corner. And I'm just going to continue blending it out. With the same eyeliner, I'm just gonna tight line my lash line, and this is gonna help when I put on my false eyelashes and help it blend in with my natural lashes. With my Shape Tape concealer, I'm going to carve out my eyebrows. I like to do this step first because I have microbladed eyebrows, and I find that when I put foundation over them, it gives off a weird color. So I like to do this step, and I just basically follow what's already there with the flat brush concealer, and I'm gonna blend that downwards towards my eyelids. And when I do the top part of my eyebrows, I usually just do it from like 3/4 of the way and blend outwards and up, just so that when I do add foundation to it later, I can get pretty close to it without having to touch my eyebrows. And then with the leftover concealer, I'm just going to cover some red spots, a little bit of blemishes around my chin, and then I'm going to get the dark spots that are right above my cheekbone just to get it light so that when I get the base color on, it kind of blends in better. Next, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury, the Dolce Vita in shade 2, and I'm generally going to use this shade to blend out the smudge stick eyeliner, and I'm going to use the dense side to pack on more of the color towards the base of my lids and use the fluffy side to just blend it out and upwards. Now I'm using the Tartelette Toasted Palette in the shade Latte, and I'm going to use my MAC 224 brush to blend out that shade on my crease. I'm just going to get a little bit of it on the brush and tap off the excess, start at the crease line and blend my way up. And I find that this is going to tone down a lot of that shimmer that's in the Dolce Vita eyeshadow. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in the shade Dark Brown, and I'm going to get most of the color towards the end of my eyebrows. I usually use a light hand for the beginning towards the middle of my eyebrows just because I want those little hair strands to pop through. Next, I'll be using Tarte's Rainforest of the Sea concealer, and this concealer is on the watery side, which I like. I just like to use a dry Real Technique sponge and thinly spread that over my face from the center and outwards. And I use a dry sponge just because I do want to remove some of the product that I don't need on there, as I'll be layering something else. With my Shape Tape concealer, I'm just going to apply it where I want a little more brightening, like the inner corner of my eyes, the nose, and my chin. I don't really like doing that triangle thing under the eyes. I find that at the end of the day, I just end up looking like a hot mess, so I just like to keep it a little more controlled. And I'm going to use my flat concealer brush to blend out most of it, but I'm going to finish it with my cushion sponge. And I love using the cushion sponge generally to blend out my makeup. I try to avoid using a wet sponge because I find that my skin gets really itchy throughout the day when I do use a wet sponge. And the cushion sponge just feels a lot softer when blending out my makeup. Now I'll be using the AMORE Pacific Color Correcting Cushion, and I've been loving this cushion, guys, because it applies thin. It has a pretty good coverage. It's a medium coverage, but it's also buildable, and it has SPF 50 plus in it, which is pretty good. I like makeup with SPF in it. I like that extra protection, and all I do is just evenly just apply it all over my face. And I do add a setting, like a loose setting powder, which makes it feel comfortable to wear throughout the day. Now I'm using the MAC Pro Face Palette Bright Blush, and I love this cream blush. I like the way that it's very bright, and you can also blend it out so that you can tone it down. I usually use the whatever's left over on my cushion sponge and just blend it out that way, and it just gives like this nice glowing look from underneath your skin, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I've been really loving this blush so far, and my favorite one is actually the left bottom one that I'm using right now. To set my face, I'm using the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder, and I just brush this stuff lightly across my face before I bake. And I'll be baking under my eyes where I put that Shape Tape concealer. I also get the side of my nose right up to like the edge where you would normally contour on the bridge of your nose, and also get some on my chin. Most importantly, I have to bake my brows. Before I started doing this hack, I swear I used to always have like that oily glaze look on top of my eyebrows. It was super annoying, but I learned this hack on Huda Beauty's channel and I've been doing it ever since. I also do a little bit of that translucent powder on my jaw and I bring it into like my mouth. And I feel like it just kind of gives you that like sucked in cheek look, which is kind of cute. I've been doing that ever since. I guess I don't know who I learned it from. I'm sure I learned it just from watching YouTube, but I've been just doing that ever since as well. And I'll leave my bake on till like the very last step of my makeup. And I just get whatever remaining powder that's on the lid on my puff, and I carry that puff around with me whenever I need to matte. I don't really put extra powder on it. I just use whatever's left on that puff. This tip has got to be the most unusual one. I learned this on Jeffree Stars' channel. He was hosting this, I believe she's like a drag performer, but her name is Gigi Good, and she did like a white liner right above her lip to where she would make her lips look bigger doing this hack, I guess. And I didn't hate it. I tried it and I didn't hate it. It looks a little weird because I look like I have a little milk mustache going on right now, but you cover all that up with sort of like a neutral liner. I guess you could use like a bright red lip, but you usually just get it to where you want like your lips to end, and then you're gonna fill in the lip liner right to that edge. So you're going to eventually cover all that white, and it kind of gives this like protruding pouty look, if I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but it does give that look. And you do have to finesse it because you don't want like these white edges just like popping out of that lip liner. You do want to camouflage everything and make it look natural. This is when I like the way the bottom one turned out, but I think I erased the top and just redid it to where it wasn't so exaggerated, because she was looking like she did like lip injections, like 2 mil fill, and you know, I just wanted that subtle 1 mil fill look. So I redid the white liner. And sorry, I didn't get the lip on the camera. I didn't even notice. I was trying to get super close to the mirror, but yeah, I just like try to fill it to like right at the edge of the white liner. And you know, it doesn't look horrible. It actually looks like it makes my lips look kind of big. And then I just use that cream blush to give like the same color of the lips as my cheeks, and I believe I just put the same lip mask over it to give it a little bit of gloss. Now that our bake has been set for a while, I'm just gonna dust that off with the same blush brush, and you know, just kind of get all of that translucent powder off my eyebrows and just kind of lightly go over the rest of my face so that I can stay matte throughout the day. And I'm going to use the same brush to apply my bronzer, and I use the HOOLA bronzer. I feel like everyone uses that one. It's a really nice matte non-shimmery bronzer, and you can use it to contour as well, but I just basically get it on my forehead, a little bit on my cheekbones, under the jaw to, you know, slim her up a little bit, and just add a little more color to my face. Now I'm using my INNISFREE micro mascara to coat my eyelashes, and I love this mascara one just because it coats the little itty bitty eyelash hairs that I do have. And I usually do this right before I put on my false eyelashes, just so that I can curl them together once I get them on. And I use this puff to matte myself down throughout the day. The eyelashes that I'm using for this is by LA Colors. It's like the first time I've ever tried this brand, but I liked it. It was nice. It was kind of more on the dramatic full side, but I still thought they were cute for like a day wear. They were comfortable, the band was thin, there was no problems, they stayed on all day. I really like the slash, and I just used my little eyelash curler to fuse the natural lashes to the fake lashes so that they just stay on all day. And then the last thing I do is to add a little bit of a glitter eyeshadow or like a shimmer eyeshadow to the inner tear ducts of my eyes. It just gives like a nice glitter, like cute look to the eyes that I just tend to do all the time. Now I just top off my lips with that same Laneige lip mask just to add a little bit of gloss. And this is the look. This is the makeup look that I always go for. It's like pretty easy for me to do, and it always stays on very well. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Thanks for coming by, and talk to you soon. Hi guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to see more things, just let me know what you'd like to see in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.